Good morning, children. Today we will study the limitation of the Bose model. Now, the Bose model is having so many advantages or the merits, but it is having some demerits also that we will study here. Number one, Bose model could not explain the spectra of atoms containing more than one electron. Bose model could not explain even hydrogen spectrum obtained using high resolution spectroscope. Each spectral line on high resolution was found to consist of two closely spaced lines. So atoms which are having more than one electron, and then its spectra could not be explained by the Bose because it is having so many lines in the spectra. And even when the spectra of hydrogen was taken and a high resolution spectroscope, then each line present in the spectrum is again divided into very fine lines. This cannot be explained by the Bose model. The second point, it was observed that in the presence of a magnetic field, each spectral line gets split up into closely spaced line. When the spectrum was taken in under the very strong magnetic field, then each line is splitted into many fine lines, and this effect is called as Zeeman effect, and this is under the magnetic field. So when a very strong magnetic field is applied, then each line present in the spectrum is splitted into the many lines. So it will become, you can say it will become a band, and then this effect is called as Zeeman effect. So we can say the Bose model could not explain the Zeeman effect. So this is about the Zeeman effect, and similarly the one effect is called as Stark effect. In the Stark effect, when we apply a strong electric field, then again the lines which are present in the spectra, they are splitted into many fine lines. So this effect is called as Stark effect. So when we apply the magnetic field, then this effect is called as Zeeman effect, and when we apply the strong electric field, then this effect is called as Stark effect. So we can combine these two effects. So we can say the Bose model could not explain Zeeman effect and Stark effect. Now the next point, in 1923, de Broglie, the French physicist, suggested that electron-like light has a dual character. So further, when the studies were going on, then in 1923, the de Broglie, that was a French scientist, then he gave the idea that the light has a dual character, and just like light, the electron is also having the dual character. But according to the Bose model, he explained that electron is a particle. So it has particle as well as wave nature. Dual means they are having the particle as well as wave nature. So Bohr had treated electron only as a particle. So he treated the electron just like a particle, not like a wave. Thus Bose model ignored that dual character of the electron. So that character was ignored by the Bohr. So this will become the drawback of the Bose model. Now the next point, the main objection to Bose theory was raised by Heisenberg uncertainty principle. That is also based on the dual nature. According to this principle, it is impossible to determine simultaneously the exact position and the momentum of a small moving particle like an electron. So the postulate of Bohr that electrons move in well-defined orbits around the nucleus, therefore it not valid. Thus Bohr's model contradicts Heisenberg uncertainty principle. According to Heisenberg uncertainty principle, The particle like the electron, which is a very small particle, its momentum and the position cannot be defined exactly simultaneously. We will study further this Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So this principle could not be explained by the Bose. So this will become the drawback of the Bose model. Now the fifth point, Bose model could not explain ability of atoms to form molecules and geometry and shape of the molecules. The Bose model could not give any idea about the molecular shape and the geometry. So we'll study the different shapes of the molecule. These could not be explained on the basis of Bose model. So these are the 5 points for the limitation of the Bose model. Then we will study about the dual nature of the particles. Children, now we will study the dual behavior of the matter. According to some theory, the light behave like a particle as well as wave. You will study about the two behavior. One is the particle and other are waves. The waves are having the property like the wavelength and frequency. And the particles are having the exact position in the space. So there is the difference in the particle nature and the wave nature. So in the dual behavior, when in the Bose model, there is one drawback. He was given that the electron is behaving like a particle. An electron being a particle, it is revolving around the nucleus in the circular path. And according to the particle theory, or that is called as mechanical theory, we have to show the position of the particle. But he could not explain the position of the electron in the particle, and that's why it will become the drawback of Rutherford's model. So now we will apply the dual behavior of the electron. The light is also having the dual behavior, that is behave like a particle as well as wave. So now there two theories are there. One is represented by E is equal to mc square. That is the theory that was given by the Einstein, that is the classical theory. And then you know E is equal to h nu, or we can write h into c upon lambda. So de Broglie was the scientist who gave the relationship between these two equations, that is particle as a wave. Then he gave the relationship, that is for E is equal to mc square, that is for the particle, and E is equal to h nu for the wave. And then that was called as de Broglie relationship. This is called as de Broglie relationship. It was given that the electron behaved dually like a particle as well as wave. So we can apply E is equal to mc square, then we can write E is equal to mc square, and then we can write E is equal to hc upon lambda. Now for the dual behavior we can write mc square is equal to hc upon lambda. So one c will be cancelled here. Then we can write lambda is equal to h upon m into c. When these are electromagnetic radiation, then it is called as the velocity of light, and we take it is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Now, but we are talking about the particle of the matter, and these matter particles can behave dually, that is in the form of particle as well in the form of waves. So this relation, then we can write it is equal for h upon mass into velocity. Here lambda is the wavelength, and m is the mass of the particle, and v is the velocity of the particle. So this relationship, this is called as, now here H is Planck's constant, and when we talk about the electron, then its mass and the Planck's constant are constant. This. Then we can write here, the lambda is inversely proportional to its velocity. Clear? So, or we can write, so this is equal to, the mass is very important for the calculation of the wavelength. The mass of the particle is very small, then it is having the large value for the lambda. So when the particles which are having negligible masses, then they can only behave like a wave. Otherwise, they cannot behave like a wave. For example, the particles you see your eyes, they all behave like a particle. They cannot behave like a wave because they are having the significant mass. If the mass is significant, then the lambda will become insignificant or very small value of lambda, or you can say you can give the position of the particle. But the particles which are having very less mass, like the electron or the proton, they are having very small mass, so they can behave like a wave. So this is the main, it is only applicable for the particle which are having negligible masses or which are having the less masses. So it is only applicable for those particles, but it is insignificant for the big particles. Even we can talk about the ball which you are using to play, that is also, for that also the wavelength is insignificant. So this is for the wavelength, this is called a relationship, de Broglie relationship. Then when we multiply mass by velocity, then we can write the lambda is inversely proportional to P. P is called as here the momentum. P is momentum. So according to de Broglie relationship, the wavelength associated with the particle is inversely proportional to its momentum, which is called a de Broglie relationship. So you can derive de Broglie relationship by writing, because it is having the dual nature. So first we will write for the particle E is equal to mc square. Then we will write for the wave E is equal to hc upon lambda. For the dual behavior, we equalize both mc square is equal to hc upon lambda. Then we can write lambda is equal to h upon mass into velocity. For the electron, we can take the mass of the electron is constant. Then we can write the lambda is inversely proportional to velocity. And when you multiply mass with the velocity, then it is equal to momentum. Then we can write lambda is inversely proportional to momentum. So momentum is mass into velocity. Then we can write the statement for it. The wavelength associated with the particle is inversely proportional to its momentum. So this is de Broglie relationship. Then we will solve some numerical based on de Broglie relationship.